Welcome back to another edition of Paper Trails. Today we are on part two of the ICE series. What to do if ICE comes to your door. So, the first thing, most importantly, the worst thing you can do is open that door. You are not required to open the door. You are allowed to speak through the door. And you should speak through the door because you want to find out one vital thing. Please show me a judge's warrant. That's what you want to ask if they have. The judge warrant is a paper, it's a document that gives them permission to enter private property. Not the just a standard ICE paper or Department of Homeland Security paper, but an actual document with the judge's signature on that warrant. If they don't have one, tell them through the door that I do not consent to entry. And of course, you stay your ass inside. If they do have an official paper with the judge's signature, do not resist them because now you're interfering with the law and there could be further legal repercussions. Don't resist, but you still have the right to remain silent. And the only thing you should be saying at that point is that you want to speak with your lawyer. So, other key things to remember in that scenario, if you are being apprehended or being taken into custody, silence is not suspicious. Silence is protection because everybody knows in America what you say can and will be used against you. If they answer anyway, say out loud. I'm going back to the scenario of them not having a valid warrant, but they force their way into your home. They knock down the door, barricade it down, ram it down, whatever, and they in your face now. You still try to stand on your square the best you can and tell them, I do not consent to this search. That is at least a leg to stand on once you are able to get to a court situation to state everything that has happened to you. But once you open that door, that's when everything could go left right away out the gate. A lot of instances, these agents may only have an I-200 or I-205 form, which behind me here is an example of the 200 form. U.S. Department of Homeland Security warrant for arrest of alien. As you see at the very top, highlighted any immigration officer authorized pursuant to sections 236 and 287 of the Immigration and Nationality Act and Part 287 of Title 8 Code of Federal Regulations to serve warrants of arrest for immigration violations. And as we scroll through this document, there's a line for a signature of immigration officer and the printed name of the immigration officer, officer, interpreter, if applicable, but there is no judge signature area so far that we can identify. So now this is, I believe, the document I-205, warrant of removal slash deportation. This is a warrant for civil immigration violations, not a crime. It is generally not enforceable by local law enforcement officers. Pardon me. This warrant is directed at federal immigration officers. Federal regulations only provide authority to ICE agents to execute an immigration warrant. So this line right here that we're highlighting a designated official. Many removal orders are issued by ICE or custom border patrol agents without a hearing before a judge. These include expedited removal orders, administrative removal orders, and stipulated removal orders. The first box above is an immigration judge in exclusion, deportation, or removal proceedings. So if this was checked, then of course that looks like it would mean the first option here, a judge was involved, and the third option, a United States District or Magistrate Court approved this, and then they would be the ones signing on the document. So that's something else to kind of keep an eye out for. And you could look up examples of these official documents, the I-200 and the Form I-205, on any search platform, Google, Bing, etc. Signature of alien, signature and title of immigration officer taking print, and there's still really no specified line for where a judge would sign, but these are just things to be aware of. Now, in this next document, where it shows judicial warrants versus immigration warrants, you see the United States District Court. It'll usually have your name and address. And it's going to have the name of the person and specific property and areas of the property that may be used in the search. And then the signature, the date of the signature. So you are commanded to execute this warrant on or before said date. So for in this example, it's May 9th of 2011. My eyes, that's what they're telling me, 2011. But either way, pay attention to that date. And then is it actually signed by a judge down at the bottom here? There's going to be the signature and the print. So as we see down here, Edmund F. Brennan, U.S. Magistrate Judge in print. And then, of course, there's their signature. So as this document is kind of breaking down, if the answer is yes to all of these above things, if they have your correct address, if it's from the district court, if the date is current, if they have your home listed and your name correctly, shown in the document, they mean they know it's you. They have documented that it's you who they come plan to get. They have your address, and it's been signed off by a judge, so everything is above board here. So on the other side here is an example of an immigration warrant. Same features, but slightly different. Department of Homeland Security warrant of removal slash deportation is subject to removal, deportation from the United States. And then, of course, box number one, an immigration judge in exclusion, deportation, or removal proceedings. As you see down here, the signature, visual cues that this is an immigration warrant. So if it's checked off that a judge has been the one that approved this, then you should see, kind of like over here in this example, it should show the judge's full name and what type of judge he is, along with his signature. Same thing here in these other documents. Judicial subpoenas versus an immigration subpoena. U.S. District Court. Your name, is this really meant for you? Does it specify what documents are being sought? Is it signed by a clerk of court? Which, same thing, it should show in signature and print the clerk's name with their official title. Looking at an immigration subpoena, Department of Homeland Security Immigration Enforcement subpoena. Of course, additional visual cues that this is an actual immigration subpoena. And these are documents that you can look up online for your, leisure to get an understanding of what might be presented to you potentially. And that's pretty much all I got for you today. In the next episode, we'll talk about what happens when ICE stops you in public or at work, where most people talk themselves into trouble. Until next time.